Intrigue, mystery. Hi, everybody. It's time for the Great Ace Attorney. I have to disable the Spotify or this is going to be unlistenable.
Unlistenable isn't what you're going for?
Not on purpose. It's just sort of by the consequence of our actions that it becomes unlistenable. Now, I just realized this case is called The Return of the Great Departed Soul. That couldn't possibly mean anything. A new location has been added. Let's just go down the list. Is anyone home? 23rd October. Sholmes's suite. No one's home. Let's leave. Lord Chief... Why can we go to the Lord Chief Justice's office? Why do we seem to have to go to the Lord Chief Justice? Who the fuck is that? 23rd October.
What happens when you do things out of order?
Supreme Court. Lord Chief
Now we don't know what we're doing.
Justice's office.
We're just fucking doing shit for no reason.
Oh, who's that standing beside Lord Strongheart? Well, there was no one in the Sholmes' apartment.
I wonder. I've never seen her before. I hope she's hot. I don't want to see you, Strongheart. I want to see the lady.
Put a woman on
what
the
was
screen.
I doing for this guy?
I think you'd switch
I've
to
already
like
forgotten.
a Scottish.
I was trying to do Scottish. I was doing Get out of my swamp. I was not doing Shrek, but I wasn't not doing Shrek.
Shrek adjacent for sure.
Shrek adjacent is a great name for some sort of group. I feel like not a band though, like a Stomp clone, maybe. Shrek adjacent,
and they only do a Stomp version of All Star.
Yeah, they do a Stomp version of All Star. You know, the popular song from Shrek.
Yeah.
Ah, the young champion of the court. You had some success this morning, I understand.
Thanks, man.
And you've thrown the entire government into disarray as a result.
Yeah, well, maybe your government shouldn't be so bad. Oh, you mean
Why do you
because of
keep
Professor
doing this?
Hairbrain's experiment?
Sham science being demonstrated at London's Great Exhibition. The country's been made to look foolish, and now politicians are scrabbling to respond. Lord Van Zeeks is in Whitehall as we speak, giving an emergency briefing.
Oh dear, I didn't mean to cause any trouble.
None of this is your responsibility. The government is to blame for having been taken in. A special dispensation that prevents investigation at the scene will be annulled later today.
Good.
Once that happens, my forensic investigation team will move in and deal with that scrap metal in no time.
It's scrap metal now, is it? Ah, Jesus.
Nah, she's a little too spooky for me. I'll be honest. I don't trust her.
I want to give her like a really deep, like a really strong Russian accent.
I was gonna say she's definitely Russian. I don't care what
She's
she
so
actually
pale.
is. She's so pale. Looks like she's never seen the sun. A thing that doesn't exist in Russia.
Doesn't happen. They've just got one big cloud over Russia all the time, keeps the sun out.
It feels like I feel like I'm gonna be called Tavarich at any second.
Until later then, Lord Strongheart.
What? I can't understand you.
I didn't understand any of that.
But ma.
But
Ma.
nah.
Yes, thank you.
Who was that?
From View. I'm not gonna tell you.
Who was that?
Your mother. That was Dr. Courtney Scythe. Scythe.
I don't know.
Like the farm implement, probably. Scotland Yard's esteemed chief coroner.
She's got a normal...
That's why she's so pale.
Yeah, she's got a normal name. See, she's probably a Sherlock Holmes character.
Probably.
Just anybody whose name isn't a pun, I assume, is a Sherlock Holmes character.
That's been accurate so far. It's like, here's Tiddlewinks McTimbley. You'll never guess that he's not really a character from Sherlock Holmes. And then here's Brett Myers. I don't know. I needed a name. She's leading the forensic commission. Hold on.
Let me try that again.
She's leading the forensic investigation team's handling of the case. She was just delivering a report about the victim, in fact. Turns out he's made of wax.
About Mr.
Poor guy's just wax. He was turned into wax. That's how they killed him.
Yeah, I mean, one of them's gotta be.
Following the outcome of the trial earlier, I asked the coroner's office to reevaluate its findings. I don't have time to tell you what she concluded. If you want to know, you'll have to ask her directly.
Am I allowed to go to Scotland Yard? I feel like I wouldn't
Sure,
be
why
allowed
not?
in
Fuck
there.
it. You, who cares? Who cares anymore? You can find her in the forensics laboratory.
Ah, right.
It's away from the sun. That's why she looks like a ghost. Now, what we are here to see me about? I can give you 7 minutes and 39 seconds of my time.
So he's not running quite so spectacularly late anymore.
I am 17 hours late for the meeting.
What do you got, pal? The forensic investigation team. What exactly is the forensics investigation team that you mentioned before?
The British Empire's police force must become the most exemplary force in the world. For that to happen, it's imperative that we embrace forensic science and everything it has to offer. I first created the forensic investigation team a year ago now, unofficially of course, to pave the way. Goodness, a year ago? Who was that?
What the fuck?
I imagine it was one of. I don't know if you've seen that scene from The Office where Dwight, the Rainn Wilson character, like, suddenly has a woman standing next to him, and he looks and just goes, "Huh!" and like immediately like panics. I imagine that happened. At next month's symposium, I intend to present the results of their work to the world.
I clicked on something out of the window, and it was like, yes, that'll advance the text.
Also, there's a non-zero chance that Mulligan's not going to realize that we're out doing Ace Attorney tonight unless he checks Discord. Because I lied and told him that my ZZZ stream was going to be tonight because I didn't know that the thing was tomorrow.
Oh, well. It's his streak, not mine.
It's his streak. He better get here.
I'm always here.
Get here.
Except when I'm not.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, that's not true, though. It was not true on Sunday, even. That was like 2 days ago.
Yeah, we were grocery shopping. What do you want?
Yeah. You're leaving my damn freezer open. Once I do that, the House of Lords will be powerless to oppose the creation of a full-scale forensics division. And once that happens, the position of Attorney General will be mine, and criminals will suffer dearly.
What do you mean? And why'd you say it way?
I'm gonna kill them all. I'm gonna kill them all, Ryanosuke. For too long, the scoundrels have made a mockery of our legal system with false evidence and bribes. But London's scum is about to be rounded up and burnt in the fires of hell.
That's not concerning at all.
I'm of two minds. Bribery bad, corruption bad, fires of hell, never a good thing to say. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's hard to get a read on this weird bronze-colored clock man.
Yeah.
I intend to see it to it personally. Up there they are. By creating the finest police force the world has ever known to protect our honor and our future.
Look at those eyes. He means every word. Yes, he's very intimidating.
Dr. Scythe is an extremely reliable coroner. When I officially established the forensics division at Scotland Yard,
Hot dog. Soda. Ah.
she will run it as my right-hand woman.
That was a the hot dog and soda was two objects.
Yeah, no, I have
soda.
context. I have context clues. Your wife gave you a hot dog and soda. I'm not an idiot, Stephen. I know there's no hot dogs here. I've looked.
It's not hot dog flavored soda.
It's hot dog soda. Drink it up.
Yuck.
Is it soda flavored hot dogs?
No?
That sounds like something we'd have soon. We have Coke Oreos or whatever. And Oreo Coke.
Ooh, that's true.
Damn, he is winding that watch. He just do this forever if we let him. Now then, speaking of the
Just
symposium,
explodes in his
Miss...
hand.
Yeah, now then, speaking of the symposium, Miss Mikotova. Oh, yes, my lord? Your father should be on the high seas as we speak, making his way here to represent the Empire of Japan. Yes, that's right. I understand he will arrive at the beginning of next month.
Are you acquainted, Lord Strongheart? With Professor Mikotoba, I mean.
No! I'm not going to get into what we've done in the past. He looks directly at Sasato. Your father is a kind lover. It was many years ago now, but yes, I remember Dr. Mikotoba very well. Surprised noise.
Dr. Mikotoba.
If my memory serves, it was some 15 years ago now that your father came to Britain as a visiting student. It was the year I was born. So yes, 16 years ago, in fact. Remember, I'm 16?
Not until just now, no.
Remember how the two main characters in this game are literal children that are in court all the time?
I thought, Ryunosuke's not 16, is he?
I thought he was. I thought they were both 16.
I thought he was in college. No, he's not on the list, so I can't confirm it this
Hold
way.
on, I'll Google it. I assumed they were like in the same year in school. Let me look them up. Ryunosuke Naro TV character.
Huh?
Oh, yeah, this says he's 23,
Yeah, I could have
which is
sworn
much
he was,
older than I thought.
Yeah, like I could have sworn
I thought
was
he
in
was
college.
maybe 18. Okay, well,
I would have guessed 18 also.
I'm now much more uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'm less rooting for those two. In fact, I'm no longer rooting for them at all. Ryunosuke, you've got to stop it.
Now, to be fair, I don't think Ryunosuke has ever, like, said anything romantic about her.
No, he is not. But the
Could
game's
it be because he's
implied
dumb as
it
rocks?
a little bit.
Perhaps.
Very dumb. Dumber than a sack of oats. I don't know, man. I just don't get why they're always like, this character, child. When, like, it didn't need to be that way at all. They could have just made Sasato any age, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't plot relevant, you know?
Right.
So I don't get why they don't do that. I don't get it at all.
Games love to have child characters.
Yeah, and if you're gonna do that, at least make them both kids. I don't know. Mikotoba was a young practitioner of forensic science in Jigoku.
That's the judge, I believe. Yeah.
I know his name means gates of hell. I'm not saying that because I can't read the word. My brain sees Goku and thinks about Dragon Ball. Okay.
Mercy.
I haven't forgotten who he is. Jigoku. And Jigoku accompanied him as a young It says he's a judge right there, Steve!
I hadn't read the rest of the sentence until after I said it. That one's on me.
A young promising judge? Oh, fuck you.
The what?
I'm Googling this one.
Punctiliousness?
It could be punch, though, right?
Yes, it could. Like punctuality.
So that's why I'm not sure. I'm gonna look it up. It's punctilious according to Google.
All right.
So we're in so it should be punctiliousness. The punctiliousness and politeness of the Japanese at the time impressed us greatly.
Until it
Now
didn't.
now we've grown to hate them. Not that I wish to imply impoliteness or carelessness on your part in any way.
I didn't think that you were.
Oh, good, because I'm not. At all. Ever. Would never think it. He stares
Don't
directly
think it,
at
don't
us.
say it.
No, just not like the pee pee poo poo man. I'll be honest, I've forgotten what the actual name of that movie is. I just always think
the
of it as
Bye Bye Man, but it's always the Pee Pee Poo Poo Man in my head.
I only know Pee Pee Poo Poo Man. Dr. Mikatova studied forensics at one of London's large hospitals. St. Sinners. Wow. If I'm not mistaken. So the judge named Hell, and this guy who's talking about the gates of hell. And the doctor, is this like a devil cult, or is this just a bunch of coincidences? Dr. Scythe was also there as it happens. Was there then, as it happens. Then, Dr. Scythe knows my father, does she? She was a young medical assistant at the time, so I doubt their paths crossed regularly. But I've no doubt they knew each other superficially. After all, Dr. Mikatova was here studying his subject for some 6 years in total.
6 years? That's a long time to be studying abroad, isn't it?
So this dude, his daughter got born, he dipped for 6 years. And then he came back, and 10 years later, he faked an illness to trick her. I'm starting to not like Mikatova very much.
I'm starting to feel like fucking J. Jonah Jameson is a bad father.
And we don't have enough evidence yet, but I don't know, man. It's a little sketch. Oh, right. Was your mom like anime dead or something?
Maybe.
That happens to a lot of moms. She had the ponytail in front of her shoulder, didn't she? The braid.
You know.
I lived with my grandmother in those years.
So he left his newly born daughter behind and went overseas for 6 whole years?
I know, Ryunosuke, I agree. It was a rather turbulent time at home.
You fucking remember it? Oh.
Perhaps father wanted a reason to get away.
Get away from his bitch wife. What do you mean? Why?
Mom dead.
I don't want to talk about it in front of this stranger. Well, clearly something was going on at the time. Hey, what's up with Van Zieks? I wanted to ask you about Lord Van Zieks, actually. I heard that his older brother was killed some years ago by a mass murderer known as the Professor, who targeted nobles and royalty. Is that right?
You Japanese are a thorough one. You've done your research well. Yes. And you could say it was that very incident that gave rise to the Reaper.
What? Why?
I'd really have to explain this, huh? When his brother Clint Van Zieks was murdered.
You know, Clint.
It was just after young Barack had graduated from the University of London and become a prosecutor. When obvious criminals who managed to evade conviction in court started disappearing. Rumors quickly spread through the capital. Londoners started to say whether Barack Van Zieks went wherever, that the ghost of his dead brother wasn't far behind.
Huh.
Oh my word.
So, Lord Van Zieks isn't the Reaper. Is the ghost of his brother? Well...
Ghosts aren't real, Ryunosuke. We'll never see a ghost.
Never. Not even once.
Never. Definitely not in the court of law. Ever since that time. Aha! I told you Mologai was gonna be tricked.
Well, Josh told me afterwards, and to be fair, I also never put the Josh zone on the schedule, so tomorrow was wrong too.
The character comes out tomorrow, Mologai. So I'm streaming Zenless Zone 0 tomorrow. I told Steven on Monday. And then as we were streaming today, I went, Mologai's not gonna know. He's gonna think it's not Ace Attorney.
Oops.
What a fun little ruse. How droll.
Well, you haven't
what if I start saying how droll a lot? What do you think about that for me?
Broad. That would be a bit, certainly.
Do you think it would make me seem more high society?
No.
Wow, okay. Little mean. Little rude. Broad grammar is a fun thing to say. Ever since that time, he became a very aloof figure in London's legal circles.
Oh yes, Lord Strongheart.
Go ahead.
It's about Professor Hairbrain's experimental machine. We'd like your permission to examine the remains if possible.
You gotta swallow the hot dog, Stephen. Are you well versed in science then?
Not in the slightest. In fact, you could say I was barely aware of the subject at all until recently. Then no.
He didn't have to admit that. Wait, he wasn't aware of the subject of science?
I guess not.
Huh. I guess that's possible. I don't know. I was never in Japanese school in the 1800s.
Yeah, and Ryunosuke is kind of dumb at everything except law. And even then.
Yeah, I would say he's dumb at law. He's just... What do you even call him? 'Cause it's not lucky either. Huh.
He's doing his best.
I think it's... I mean, it's hard to say, right? Because they're never... Unlike real defense attorneys, he never actually has to defend someone who is innocent. Or who isn't innocent, I mean. You know what I mean? Like, he never has to...
He did once.
Okay, but the Irish guy barely counts. You gotta take... Molo guy.
Well, maybe I...
My word.
Maybe I will.
Yeah, you missed Steven drinking hot dog soda. That's pretty fucked up. Well, a special dispensation legally preventing the investigation of the machine is currently being annulled. Within a few hours, Dr. Scythe's team of forensic experts will begin their own investigation. But I suppose until then, there's no harm in you looking at the wreckage, as long as you touch nothing.
Thank you. Being able to look at it is better than nothing.
And I'll be able to see it too. Okay. Thanks. Your time is up. You have to excuse me now, I'm afraid. My next engagement calls. We are extremely sorry to have troubled you when you were so busy, my lord. I have important matters to attend to in preparation for the symposium, you understand.
Okay, bye.
Don't touch my birds.
It's so loud in here when he's not here.
I don't have to
Prison.
sign anything, Mullah guy. You'll never get it out of me.
Oh, we can't go to his office because he's not there, presumably. Prison.
I just locked the door. Oh,
What?
good.
That was fast.
This bodes well.
What's he doing?
He's... Oh my. The whole wall of the cell is covered in mathematical equations.
And he's still writing more now. Professor, sorry to interrupt. Oh, Mr. Nawahado. And who is this young lady?
My name is Susato Mikatoba. I'm Mr. Naruto's judicial assistant and a child. It's a pleasure to meet you, Professor.
Oh, if only I'd met a refined young woman like you sooner. None of this would have happened. No, that's not logical. That makes no sense at all.
He didn't hear me say I'm a child, did he? Then why do you pay taxes, Mole Guy? Because I'm a patriot. Wait, I said...
Wait.
I put my name instead of your name. Hold on, let me reread it. She's 16. We just found out about this because she was talking about how her dad, she was like, my dad came here when I was born 60 years ago. And it record scratched and freeze framed. And I went, wait. And then we Googled it. Ryunosuke is 23.
College.
and I pay my taxes because I'm a patriot and I want to fund roads. And even though only a little bit goes to roads, it's more than I can fund roads any other way.
I unfortunately can't just hand my money to Rhodes.
You could hand it to Cody Rhodes, famous wrestler.
I guess I could.
I assume he makes roads in his spare time.
He must. Why else would he be called that?
Oh dear, I'm sorry if my presence here upsets you.
I owe you an apology too, Professor. I didn't manage to deliver what I promised you I would in court this morning. Oh no. The whole thing, the whole miserable affair. It all happened because I've been such a complete and utter clot.
Professor Hairbrain? What have you been working on in your cell? Well, he's got a fucking Pythagorean theorem ass triangle over there for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
None of this is anything. It's all just random math equations. Oh, haha. You mean that? Oh dear, how embarrassing. I was suddenly struck by an idea, you see, and I simply had to write it down. The wall was all I had on hand. And I also just had some chalk on me.
I always keep a bundle of chalk in my pockets. Exactly, Mulligan. But until we have glorious toll roads, until we have glorious super highways, 30 lanes wide and 100 lanes tall.
Tall?
Yeah, we're gonna layer them like a lasagna.
Oh, I see.
That's gonna solve It's gonna solve the traffic, Steven. One more lane will solve the traffic.
It always does, doesn't it?
Just one more lane, bro, please.
Oh, is it some new hypothesis? Something to surpass super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, maybe? Ah, no, actually, this is my autobiography. No.
I'm gonna kill this man with hammers.
No,
I'm gonna hit him with hammers. Your autobiography?
How I was diddled and fiddled. Well,
Whoa! Dude, hold the phone. How I was diddled and fiddled?
I don't know,
brother. You've got to get an editor. You cannot let that go to print.
You can't call it that.
You can't call it that, sir. You're not cool enough. You can't pull that off.
By Albert
Wow.
Halfway. I found I can represent my odd fortunes with only odd numbers in an ambitious set of simultaneous equations. What does that mean? What do you mean by that? What do those words mean in that order?
He said diddled and fiddled, so I think the bro has just lost it.
Boy.
Really?
I'm going to have to pay back all the loans I took for the kinesis machine, you see. So it's going to be a new serial publication from next month. Part 1, an odd birth, an odd upbringing. You can't beat the man's optimism, that's for sure. I see. Well, for now, would you mind if we talked a little more about the case? Oh, yes, of course. I've been working through the numbers. I was diddled, I was fiddled, by the pair of them. By Assman.
No! I was diddled by an Assman and fiddled by Trevor.
And that aloof engineer Trevor. We're not going to have to sit through an explanation of all these equations, are we?
Listen, I'm just saying, if I picked up a copy of an autobiography and it was diddled and fiddled, and I opened it up and it was a math equation, I would be more than mad.
This morning's trial.
Speaking of a book, you know what I bought a book recently.
Ooh.
You'll never guess what it was. I'll give you a hint. It's one of them picture books. What comes from Japan? That's right. It was volume 1 of the English version of the Magic the Gathering manga.
Hot damn.
It finally came out. Your boy got it opening week from the Barnes and Noble. Can you believe they had like 5 copies all on the shelf? What a steal. I did not buy 5 copies. That would be insane to do.
Everything I believe.
It does come with a card, though.
Nice. Are they all gonna come with promo cards, or just the first volume, do you think?
All of them should. They said they will, and all the Japanese ones did. So it should be the exact same cards, just in English instead of in Japanese. Nice. And some of those cards are worth like $20 to $30, which is more than the $15 you have to pay for the book. The first one is not. It's like a $2 card, kind of, maybe. I mean, you can get versions of the card that are 5 cents, but I just thought it'd be funny to have a shelf full of 15 volumes of the fucking Magic the Gathering manga, especially if I don't open any of them. Think of the comedy gold.
Everything I believed in has been turned on its head. My research, Mr. Assman, the kinesis machine, my hypothesis even. I'm sorry it's come to this. There was really no other way. No, it's not your fault. I wanted to protect my work, but in the end there was nothing worth protecting. It was never my intention to deceive anyone. I didn't want to trick the public.
No, of course you didn't.
But in court this morning I realized something. Oh? If you've done something wrong without knowing it, you've still done something wrong. Logically, it makes no difference if you're aware of it or not. Correct.
Well, I mean, intent matters a little bit, but not only for, like, punishment.
As far as laws go, largely correct. Or accidental deaths. Largely correct. Although, you know, this one was probably just a murder. But not by him. Ignorance is a poor excuse. The blame still lies with me.
Oh, Professor.
Sata barely knows this guy at all. I think she met him for like 5 minutes yesterday while we were in court.
Yeah, I don't know. She's kind of just a bleeding heart liberal.
He believed in me this morning, you know. Barak did. He believed in my hypothesis.
Can I ban Mola guy? He's made a Yu-Gi-Oh joke about Magic the Gathering. Can I get rid of him yet? I keep wanting to, and you always say no.
Thin ice, Bob.
Damn it, that ice is microscopically thin.
Well,
and
I
he
think
gets to stay here.
That was just a necessary factor in the prosecution establishing its case. No, Barak wouldn't do something like that. I'm sure he genuinely believed it. Did he? I think I understand now. Why it was he decided to take on the prosecution in my trial, I mean. Oh? After the terrible accident happened, he turned French again. Nobody would believe in my hypothesis anymore. Not the
I think
police.
you just lean into it.
Yeah.
I'd just make him French.
Not the prosecution
Bonjour?
service. Not any lawyers, even. I feel like I dealt some kind of finishing blow there. So if any other prosecutor had taken the case, if it was anyone other than Barak, I'm sure the prosecution would have declared my hypothesis a complete and utter nonsense.
Nobody cares, Mola guy. Nobody cares. He's British, like we've ever. You fool. We've made so many other British people non-British. We're gonna keep doing it.
We like to do the
Please,
funny voices.
No. We made a British lady Russian not 20 minutes ago. Her name is Courtney, and we
the famous Russian name.
the famous Russian Courtney. There's probably one Courtney, right? In all of Russia.
Gotta be.
It's a big country.
Big place.
Big place.
Huge even.
Massive. It's huge. Real big.
Real big. Quite large.
Real big.
Big large.
Welcome to the Russia segment of the stream. We talk about how big Russia is.
And nothing
Turns
else.
out,
that's all we got.
It's real big.
Neither of us know anything about Russia except that it's real big.
Hey,
and there's probably someone named Courtney in it.
They made Tetris there.
That's true.
I know that. I know that there's like a big building called the Kremlin. I think about it a lot because it sounds like Gremlin, and that's funny. I don't know if you've ever thought about how those words are similar.
I think about similar words all the time.
I'm always thinking about similar words. That's what I'm doing. And in that case, you would have been declared a fraud yourself, Professor.
Exactly, which would have been a fate worse than death for me. But Barak insisted that I was a proper man of science from start to finish. You think that's why he... I know him very well indeed. He's an extremely kind-hearted soul.
But that extremely kind-hearted soul
Is terribly racist.
it keeps calling me a Nepalese. Spent all morning trying to paint you as a murderer, didn't he?
Well, admittedly, that part of the analysis appears to have some flaws in it. And what about the whole Reaper side of
Holy
things?
shit!
How does that fit in
Steven,
with the kind-hearted soul?
look to the right of his head.
F. Is that the part?
F.
F.
And right above it, Shin Megami Tensei.
How does
I
that
don't
fit
know
in with the
what
whole
I'm doing.
kind-hearted soul idea?
I was just losing my mind slowly.
Mr. Assman. Do you think he set out to trick me from the very start? I'm sorry to say that does seem likely, yes. When I
All right
first
then, Mullig, I continue that. Not the song. Keep going with this. What do you think they were like in the sack? I have a bold proposal. Zeke's power bottom.
I can see that.
Thoughts.
Makes sense to me. When I first met him, he introduced himself as a wealthy financier. He looked over the paper I'd written and said my work would benefit all humanity and must be pursued. He was so enthused. He was so emphatic. But in reality, he was the mastermind of some vast criminal network, it seems. I still can't believe it.
As the machine was essentially a set decoration for some stage magic, it probably didn't require a large amount of investment, actually.
That's actually true, isn't it? If the machine was never supposed to work.
Probably just a lot of scrap metal.
Yeah, but the scale of it, it wasn't just some small trick. It was a very elaborate feat of deception. All young scientists are full of hope about their burgeoning ideas, full of zeal. But none of us have any money. We want to do research, but we can't afford it.
We've got to have money.
Many of us take on barely legal part-time work to try to earn just a few measly pennies to carry on. To go
Barely
through all
what?
of that- What? To go through all of that and be taken for a complete fool. It's too rotten to believe. It is, I agree. And that's why we have to find those responsible and bring them to justice. Mr. Assman is no more, of course, which leaves only the engineer. We can't bring justice to him, he's already dead.
He's already dead. I'll be honest, Molokai, I don't know what that means. Don't nobody tell me.
Nobody tell him.
Nobody tell me. But that one's outside of my ken. So I'll just say you're right. How about that? I'll cut you a deal. Oh, right, this is me. Mr. Enoch Drebber.
I really want to know how crazy this dude's gonna look when we find him. Is he an engineer or a magician or a swindler?
He's both.
It was about a year ago when Mr. Assman first brought the lab to meet me at my laboratory. Since then, I've met him many times to discuss details about the kinesis machine. But at no point did you have any inkling that he was just an illusionist? Oh, he definitely wasn't just an illusionist. What do you mean? He was a wealth of deep scientific knowledge. There's no question that the man's a genuine scientist.
Told you not to tell me, Mola guy.
There's no
Now
question.
I gotta ban him.
Damn it. Well, it's been nice knowing you. There's no question the man's a genuine scientist. It's instantly apparent in conversation. I see.
Also, I feel like that should just be part of having sex in the first place. Maybe I'm a little old-fashioned.
Yeah, but some people are
But
shit at it.
But do we need a term to make sure other people are having a good time?
Some people are just selfish jerks.
Oh, this is me again, isn't it?
Yeah. You playing League of Legends
See you,
sport?
folks. No. But the wretch... Hold on, that's not the voice.
The wretched.
But the wretched... But the wretched... The wretched... The wretched... The wretched... But the wretched... Wretched.
I would say wretched.
No. Wretched, probably? I feel like it's probably gotta be wretched.
Yeah.
But the wretched man deceived... It feels a little weird, you know? Like, the wretched man. It's a little bit much. But the wretched man deceived you, Professor. It's unforgivable. We must do everything we can to find him and bring him to justice. Are there no more clues you can give us as to his whereabouts?
I'm sorry. We only ever discussed the kinesis machine, nothing else. Although, just once, I did visit his workshop. What? Yeah, what workshop? It was an enormous fabrication laboratory where he constructed my great machine.
Oh.
So something about this expression is killing me.
I
The way she turned her head slightly toward the camera. Why didn't you mention this before? Enoch Drebber's workshop. There's every chance we might find the man there. Drebber's workshop. So you've been to Drebber's place of work then? Yes, just once, you understand. It was an enormous place. Plenty of room to construct a kinesis machine, you see. Good lord. Where can we find it? We have to go there at once. There's a good chance we'll find Drebber there. Well, yes, definitely. I'm sure, as in, I'm sure you're not going to want to hear this. But I have absolutely no idea where the workshop is at all.
I put a bag
I'm
over
so
his head.
sorry. I was more than half expecting that. You see, I was blindfolded in the carrots the entire way there.
Well,
And I thought that was a little suspicious at the time. He blindfolded you? He wasn't taking any chances then. The place was incredible, a pinnacle of modern engineering. Even the oil he used was the very best. A special French machine oil that's impossible to obtain in Britain. Ah, the indescribable scent of that imported oil. Perfumers across the world should forget their secret formula and use that instead. What do you think, Mr. Sato? Ode a machine for your next birthday?
I've never used any kind of perfume, Mr. Naruto. And I'm not sure I'd like to start with that. I don't suppose you know even part of the workshop's address, Professor. You don't have a business card for Mr. Drebber, for example?
Man was clearly very cautious, Mr. Sato. I'm sure he would never— Aha!
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, I do. He gave me his business card once. It's right here. Look. What?
Let me see that. Oh, what is this
She looks
pose?
like she's about to flip him. Throw etiquette to the wind, why don't you?
Let me see that. Enoch Drebber, engineer. I'm afraid that's all it says. There's no address.
Oh well, I can't say I'm surprised. Still, this could be useful. Drebber's card has been entered into the court record. Alright, well, you're worthless, bye. Hold on, I do want to look at that, see if it... Ooh, what's that? Oil stain? This dark smudge here.
I think perhaps it's machine oil.
Yes, possibly. Professor Harebrain mentioned something about the oil Mr. Drebber uses, didn't he? He said it was specially imported, very high quality order that's impossible to obtain. Oil that's impossible to obtain in Britain.
Oil.
Oil.
Yes, that's right, but more importantly, it's more fragrant than the finest perfume. So excuse me a moment.
I must sniff it.
Oh, it doesn't appear to have any scent at all.
Don't worry, I expect that's just because there's such a tiny amount on here. There's a smear of machine oil on the reverse. We're gonna give that just to Herlock so he can track it down, I guess. What's up with the minus and plus symbols on it that are, like,
Let's see if we
clearly
got a
hand-drawn?
Maybe we just need to remember something.
You put a start and select key on them. Experimentation
Look at
stage.
that subtle off-white coloring. Tasteful thickness of it.
23rd October, the Great Exhibition, grounds, foot of the Crystal Tower. 1 second.
Are you turning up or turning down the delay?
I'm trying to turn up the text speed, but I'm not seeing a place for that. Damn. How is there not a text speed? That can't be right.
Even Pokemon has text speed.
Yeah. This is the lowest wait time. Not that we ever do autoplay, but... Whatever. Fine. Oop, crowd noises. Puppy! Huh?
I had no idea there are so many people in the world.
I know what you mean. It's really packed here today.
It feels as though it's taken us 2 hours just to make our way through the crowds to this point.
Has it? I shut my brain down, so I didn't really notice, to be honest.
That explains a lot, Mr. Naruto. Gosh, I do wish I had your absent of mind sometimes, Mr. Naruto.
There you are. I had a feeling you lot will show your much
I was gonna
before
say,
long.
that's definitely gonna be Ginny.
Oh, never mind.
No.
The other one. Ginny's too busy playing with the dog.
You like my Ginny impression? Pretty good, isn't it?
Very good, ain't it?
Pretty good. Don't tell her I do that. She'll get mad.
Oh, Inspector Gregson. I see you're hard at work as usual.
Warm greetings to you. I do hope you've been keeping well since we last met.
He's talking to Susato, right? What's with all the ceremony? We just saw each other in court this morning.
Not you, Sunshine. The gentlewoman so loyally at your side. Oh. Why, thank you, Inspector. How good of you to notice.
He might be a bit rough around the edges, but he's still a proper English gentleman at heart, I suppose. As you probably guessed, we were hoping to investigate the scene some more.
Right. Well, that's the young trainee's domain. Oi! Get over here, Gina!
Doggy. Aw. She seems to be busy playing with a puppy. Probably giving it a traditional East End training.
Gina? She's a police officer now?
Well, like an intern. Amazing, isn't it?
She's a good kid, actually. Heart's in the right place, anyway. She's got the detection bug, if you ask me.
Whatever that means.
Yep. Well, I think she'll follow my footsteps nicely.
What do you mean?
I adopted her, didn't I? I'm being transferred.
Oh no!
Say toodaloo to London.
Oh no!
That's so sad. Play Despacito. I can't believe this. This is the worst news, actually. Do you think Gregson's an alchemist who learned the art of fission chips transmutation? But what would he be giving up for equivalent exchange? It's got to be a warlock, because if it was alchemy, he'd have to be constantly losing something. And I just don't see what that
out
would be.
of his stomach and into his hand. Probably not.
Probably not. I'm sticking with the warlock idea. Oh no. Really?
That's a bit sudden, isn't it? I had no idea. Where are you going to be posted then? We'll come to see how you're getting along.
Not likely. But you're welcome to try. If you don't mind a trip to France, that is.
That's quite a ways. To France.
I'll be working in the Paris Police Prefecture. Should be right up my alley.
But France? It's an entirely different country. I don't understand. Why would you be sent there?
That's the way adult world works, Sunshine. Now don't go poking your nose where it's not wanted.
Okay.
I'm intending to take the kid with me when I go. I knew he
What?
wouldn't leave her!
You're taking Gina
Yeah!
to Paris.
Oh, I can't leave her here in London. Who knows what become of her?
becoming
I'm
a
basically
dad.
her dad.
I suppose he's worried
I
she'd
knew
slip
he was
back
gonna
into
be her
slipping
dad.
hands into people's pockets and purses also.
I don't think he's worried about her pickpocketing, Mr. Naruto. I think he's worried about the Reaper.
Oh, of course. So that's playing on Inspector Gregson's mind too, is it?
Anyway, I haven't mentioned any of this to Gina, so don't go blabbing, you hear me?
No, of course not.
Oh, I'll keep that diving diva safe and sound until this is all over, at least.
Oh, she froze. Oi! Did you just call me a bloomin' diver diva again?
So you heard that, did you? What, well, any questions about the scene you can put up to my capable detective diva there. She was found
Alright.
not guilty against the Reaper.
You heard the boss.
She's gonna die.
Inspector Lestrade's in charge here now. Suppose I'd better keep my word and not mention anything about Paris. So,
Better not.
Gina, you got a new dog, have you? Oh, this ain't my dog. Aw.
Oh, I nicked him!
Isn't he great? Toby's his name. I love him.
Oh, how delightful. He's absolutely adorable.
Yes, the dog does seem lovely. But it's not the not-so-lovely Inspector Gregson that's playing on my mind, to be honest.
Who was in Paris? I love that joke, Mulligan. It's so funny. Who was in Paris?
I don't know if I know that one.
It's a Kanye West and Jay-Z song. It is. There's a word that we are not allowed to say.
Mercy.
Is the first thing, so it's like a joke.
Mercy. I understand.
Like who was in Paris?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get it. Yeah, you get it.
Gina, we were actually hoping we could investigate the scene again. Yeah, alright. If it's around here, you can do what you like. Oh, that's alright, is it? I'm gonna be playing with me new friend here. Ah, yes, Toby.
Damn, that's holy shit. Scared me. Calm down there, Toby. The machine that exploded must be at the top of those stairs, I presume.
I guess she wasn't there.
I haven't actually seen it yet, so if you don't mind.
Sorry, can't go up there, Supes.
Oh.
It's like I told Aldo yesterday. Even I ain't allowed near that wreck. What's it called again? The reason we ain't supposed to touch it? The Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act. Is that what you were thinking of? That's the one. That's why only them lot are allowed to investigate it. What are they called again? The Forensic or something? The Forensic Investigation Team. Is that what you were thinking of?
She's so illiterate.
That's the one, yeah.
But isn't it the case that the special dispensation has been lifted? Annulled, even.
I think so. I don't really get it, to be truthful with you. You're still supposed to get permission from some bigwig about it, as far as I know. What was his name again? Lord Strange something?
Strongheart. I'm not sure that's quite right, Gina. I think you mean Lord Strongheart, perhaps?
That's the one, yeah. Apparently, he's always watching a time or something.
Actually, we've just recently been to see Lord Strongheart.
Hey, you what? You met him? Last time the boss was called to go and see him, he waited for 3 hours at the Cove's office and came back sniffling. Tragic.
Well, Lord Strongheart has given us permission to examine the scene as long as we touch nothing.
Oh yeah? Honestly. Alright then, go ahead. But if it turns out you're lying, it'll be the boss who gets it. He'll never eat another chip again in his life.
A fate worse. How's he gonna get his chips in Paris?
Oh no! He
Well,
just starts
France,
eating full baguettes.
No! Not the bread! Don't do it!
So you're saying all this is above board, are you?
I'm sure everything will be fine.
That really would be tragic. Alright then, them the stairs. Off you go.
Oh, thank you, Gina.
Today's trial. It was great, wasn't it? I had a right laugh. It was a new one on me, that. You know, being in court and not spending the whole time when I'm about to be found out.
You did keep an awful lot of secrets in your previous court appearances, didn't you?
Yeah, but it was like threat of death. Yeah, and all those made things hard for me every single time and all. Just doing my job, Gina. Watching someone else get it in the neck is a lot of fun, actually. It was amazing when you showed that dodgy professor's dodgy experiment was a total fix.
That dodgy professor, as you put it, Gina, is Mr. Naruto's client.
Yes, I'm starting to wish he wasn't, though. It's the boss
Me
I feel
too.
sorry for. Sent off to do the impossible.
What do you mean?
He's supposed to arrest that other cove, ain't he? And in time for tomorrow and all. You know, the dodgy engineer. What's his name again? Mr. Drebber, you mean? Enoch Drebber? That's the one, yeah. So the police are looking for this mysterious man with the black monocle. I guess they would be. He's putting too much on the boss, if you ask me. He says it's giving him a gut ache.
Oh dear. I do wonder if that isn't actually from all the fried food.
Hey, shut up. He can eat whatever he wants. The engineer's whereabouts. So Scotland Yard are trying to track down Mr. Enoch Drebber. I wonder if they've had any luck. I just took a drink as if this wasn't also me talking.
Heterochromia.
He's really funny looking. Got 2 eyes what don't match. Still a glimpse of a picture though, yeah. I mean, I didn't actually pinch it or nothing. The old devil's got it. Sorry, who? You know, that scowling reaper what's always glugging down glasses of that blood red plunk. Ah, I love cockney.
Right. You love what?
You heard me. I'll just say that one.
Wow, wow. Wow. Ah, Lord Van Zeeks. Where? Oh my god, is that Owen Wilson?
He's back
You've
again.
come back again.
He's always had
Wow.
an infamy, that cove. Don't know what he's always scowling about, mind. Probably would have been a pretty good boss as it goes. She'd rather be the Reaper's apprentice than a detective's trainee. The way I see it, if the choice is between a chip-guzzling detective and a chalice-glugging demigod, wow. You're equally badly off with both. Well, I suppose you're right. I hadn't thought of it like that. Glad we put that one to bed. Anyway, the point is, everyone at the yard's dead set on finding the fishy engineer.
What do you mean reverting? We've never
It's
left.
never technically stopped. But they don't
I
seem to be
always
no
bring up
clues
the
to go
Owen
on.
Wilson bit.
So they're stuck. There's nothing that can lead us to Drebber at all. I guess we could try to present her the business card and see if that does literally anything. Toby the dog. Where did you find that little mutt then, Gina? Wow. Oi! Don't be so flaming rude, Odo. Slight overreaction, don't you think? He ain't no mutt, alright. Toby's... how do they put it? Oh yeah, a bona fide detective. Sorry. I'll give him a proper title and everything. It's Chief Inspector Toby to you. More senior than Inspector Gregson, is he?
Oh, so he's a police dog, is he?
The police recruit dogs now?
I've heard that they're already being used officially in Germany as part of their city policing. They're used for chasing criminals and such like. They have a wonderful sense of smell, after all.
Yes, we do present the business card. I have a fairly good sense of smell
Smell,
myself as it
Toby.
happens.
Mm.
I can tell undergarments that have been freshly laundered from undergarments that haven't. You gotta stop saying stuff. Ryunosuke, you have to keep some of those thoughts as inside thoughts.
Not every thought deserves to be outside, Ryunosuke.
That's nothing compared to this little fellow, Aldo. Oh, really? According to what the boss said, once Toby has got a good whiff of your drawers,
Look at him.
he could chase that scent to the other side of the world. What? To the other side of the world? You mean he can swim?
Mr. Naruhodo, I think you may have missed the point by a rather wide margin.
I just can't believe this little dog has such an incredible skill. Can you not swim, Naruto? I'm telling you, Otto, there's gonna be more and more dogs doing their bit for the police in the future.
Yes, I agree.
Right. One of these days, they'll be barking orders as us, Lord, not the other way around.
Oh dear. Sorry, Gina, I don't think I agree with your vision quite that much.
Well, anyway, what do you think about that? Toby is Britain's finest police dog. I found him down at the East End the other day. Someone had just chucked him out on the street. There you go. I knew she'd lifted him from somewhere.
Free dog, innit?
Free dog in it.
Oh, Gina, you're such a kind-hearted soul, aren't you? To children and to animals.
Just like Godzilla.
Do it, Godzilla. Make the people happy.
I do want to look around a bit before we present the thing, because I feel like that's going to open up the next thing.
The dog may be cute, but it doesn't save from being a bastard. Ah, I see.
That's true.
I was confused. I was like, does Mulligan really hate dogs? But then I thought...
No, Mulligan hates cops, correctly.
I know! I said I figured it out!
And he's right.
I got there. But that would include Columbo.
Me sobbing as I point the gun at Columbo. ACAB includes.
Includes. Here's the scorching on the ground you mentioned.
I'm channeling the exact same energy as that tweet that says me having to kill Tony Hawk in the race war.
I saw one recently that was very similar to that. That was when we finally start killing billionaires and I have to shoot Gomez Adams.
It's alright, it probably won't work on him.
Wasn't he just a human, though?
Was he just a guy? I don't know. I don't know much about Adam's family lore.
His wife is... I'm pretty sure his wife Morticia's a vampire, but I thought he was just a weirdo.
I don't know. Yeah, so
hold on, we can find this out.
Yep. There's what's left of the green balloon's envelope. All clear evidence of the
Gomez
balloon that exploded on the day of the incident. And I know even less about the monsters. So
Species,
don't even ask.
human.
Huh. How about that? He's just a guy. He's just a wife guy.
Yeah. Like, he's just a weirdo. Now, I don't know that Morticia is a vampire. It doesn't say she is. But I'm pretty sure he is just a guy.
I don't know.
They might all just be guys. Because they're not. It's not like the Munsters where they're monsters. That's why they're called the Munsters. Because in that one, it's like a Frankenstein. Oh, I know more about them. There's the dad is a Frankenstein, and then the wife is a vampire, and then the boy Eddie is a werewolf, and then there's just a normal like human woman who's like their cousin or something like that. Poor Professor Hairbrain. I do feel sorry for him that his dreams have been shattered like this.
Someone's well and truly burst his bubble, as it were.
Throw him.
Ouch, I'm a bad person.
I mean, that was a good one.
You said it, man. I think we just click on the stairs. These stairs lead up to the experimentation stage. Let's go and see what we can find out. Maybe we'll find some melted wax up here or some shit. Oh no, because the cage isn't here.
Well, he must have been in the cage, right?
But then how did the real body get up to the crystal tower?
Second cage.
Second body, second cage.
Well, because how would they have gotten a wax into this cage, right? He walked into the cage.
Yeah, I feel like he did walk into the cage and then wave. I feel
like
I remember that. So I still don't, like, he must have been dead up in the balloon, right? Like, I get that part. Because when they found the real body, it was like they noticed it wasn't a wax replica. I don't know how they did the switch though. That's what's confusing.
Yeah, but if I said, that's why I said he is a Frankenstein monster. Because if I just said he was a monster, that's not specific.
The Great Exhibition Grounds experimentation stage.
Don't you talk to me about no modern Prometheus. Oh my. So this is the machine. that was used to deceive people into thinking instantaneous kinesis had taken place.
Yes, that's right. Or rather, it was the machine. It's a little worse for wear at the moment.
What extraordinary lengths Professor Harebrained went to in order to obtain the research grant.
No, no, no. The professor was tricked as well. He didn't know anything about it.
Yes, of course. It is amazing, though, isn't it? The scale of the whole affair is so very British.
You're right about that. You'd never see such grand deception in Japan, that's for sure.
I don't know enough about Japan to know if that's funny or not.
Yeah, I don't know enough to make a joke about that.
Oh, look, is that?
Oh, hey, Van Zeeks.
Oh. Speaking of vampires, Lord Van Zeeks?
So, I think we're more or less done here, aren't we? Shall we, Miss Susato?
He's trying to run. Already?
He is the Reaper, remember? We do well to keep our distance, I think.
But we have permission to be here. From the top. We're perfectly allowed to investigate this machine as long as we don't touch anything.
From the top? Do you mean Lord Strongheart? Yes!
Exactly. So we can stay here and stare at this wreckage for as long as we like.
You asked him! She could have been at the center of the explosion here, and it wouldn't have bent her steel will.
Oh, Frankenstein and the Modern Prometheus. Oh, bought at the... Oh, yeah, that book fair you're talking about. Fred's a big fan. I want to read it so I can talk about it with her. It's a good story.
I don't actually...
I mean, it's a little...
Old?
What's the way to say it? Yeah, I guess. It is 1800s-y. It's not that dry. It could be drier. It's a lot more of like a baby man going, I'm scared, than you would expect.
Maybe you shouldn't have built a man then.
Yeah, like the first thing, not really a spoiler, Moya. He like builds the man, gets freaked out, and then just like leaves him locked in a room for like a day or something. He just goes to bed. And then he wakes up and the man is gone, and he's like, wow, how could this have happened?
I created a
I
thing,
really
and then the thing
it,
existed. Who could have thought?
I haven't read it in like 15 years or something though, because I read it in high school.
Yeah, I feel like I read it in high school too.
Well, we did go to the same high school, so there's a good chance.
I don't remember it being
But
a
we never
required
had-
reading thing. I think I just did because I was curious or something.
What a terrible explosion it must have been. Even the steel girders have buckled and twisted in the blast.
It looks like some of them had a bite taken out of them.
Sorry, that was me. I got hungry.
And what they call the bird cage was right in the middle of it all, just here.
Look, Commissioner Hado. That metal grill on the floor.
It's got hinges on it.
Yeah, I can open up. They prestiged him.
Yeah.
I've been saying this since the very beginning. They prestiged him. Looks as though it's designed to open.
It does, doesn't it? Oh, God. If the floor had
'Cause,
opened
like,
at the precise moment the explosion occurred, the birdcage could have dropped through and disappeared from sight.
I don't think there's any doubt that this was a very elaborate hoax, is there? It starts with 3 letters. I don't know if I'm supposed to skip them, if I'm supposed to read them, or I can skip straight to chapter 1. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but I would read the letters.
I think. Did he get closer?
Yeah, he did. Examine another thing.
I'm looking for anything else to click on.
Oh, that.
This wasn't here yesterday.
I mean, I'd read the letters, Mulligan. You paid for the whole book. You might as well read the whole book, right?
Yeah.
Really? But if I'm not mistaken, it's the cage in which the victim was standing. Before he was apparently beamed through the air.
That's right, the bird cage. According to what Professor Harebrained said in court, it's made of wood.
Or more precisely, Japanese cypress, I think. Despite having been in an explosion and then falling from a great height, it's relatively unharmed. What wonderfully durable construction, wouldn't you say, Mr. Narhado?
I'd understood that the forensic investigation team had taken it away yesterday to examine it.
I've been for the whole book, but I only need the edge. This Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
I suppose they must have brought it back here when they'd finished their work.
Why do they use so many expensive materials like imported machine oil and Japanese cypress in this hoax machine?
I don't know.
I don't really get that.
Feels
But sadly,
extraneous.
not with the body inside it. Also, I like that they
that's
make
right.
the Ferris wheel go comically slow as they would have done back then.
Yep.
Like, look at it.
There's
That
one in
shit's
Orlando that
barely
moves
moving.
that slow, too.
Yeah. I mean, it's much nicer if you're, like, walking around trying to take pictures and stuff. It's just funny because you don't see that many that go that slow anymore.
I know we were given strict orders not to touch anything, but still. This is too important a piece of evidence to overlook. We might need it for the trial. The birdcage from the machine has been entered into the court record. Can we examine that? What do you mean? What?
Hell yeah. We took the whole damn thing.
Ah, look here, Mrs. Sato.
Oh yes, the wood's cracked and broken a little. I suppose because it fell from such a height.
Yes, from the height at which the balloon was flying down to the crystal tower below. A fall of about 30 feet, or 9 meters.
Leaving the man inside tragically dead.
The details about the birdcage. I don't really think there's anything else specific to look for. Yeah, it got kind of fucked on the bottom, didn't it? On account of falling from 9 meters. I'm half expecting to pan back down and he's closer again.
Look at that horn-shaped transmitting device. Isn't it amazing?
That's exactly what I thought when I first saw it.
It makes you think, doesn't it? Does it? If only it had just been a normal horn, none of this would have happened.
That's almost exactly what I thought as well. I bet I can predict what you're going to say next in that case. You're about to say nothing ever goes to plan, aren't you?
Oh no, I would never say something like that.
Oh.
Alright.
Okay. No, but I understand. Hi, Van Zeeks, what's up? Ugh, least approachable man in the world winner 10 years in a row.
Be strong, Mr. Naruto. Your country and your assistant stand firm beside you. Behind you.
Lord Van Zeeks. What?
See, that one wasn't them being lazy with animation. He just does that. Fucking just teleports short distances. Bro thought he was Joseph. What?
Well...
What the Sigma?
Beautiful weather we're having, isn't it?
I'm going to drain your blood. I thought I was making it quite clear that I didn't want to be disturbed. Apparently, you Nepalese are unequipped to read the signs.
Oh, I read them.
So, what are you doing here? Entry to this area is prohibited.
Ah, well, the thing is...
Lord Chief Justice Strongheart gave us permission to investigate, on the condition that we didn't disturb anything. I saw you put that entire cage into your pocket, and yet you've managed to disturb me.
Ah!
Ho, ho, ho. Never mind. State your business, then.
Come to think of it, there are quite a few things I'd like to ask Lord Van Zeeks about. Not least of which is that awful case, even though it's nothing to do with this.
Ask away, Mr. Naruto. You won't know unless you try. Wow!
Let's start with the softball. Are the police trying to locate the engineer, Mr. Drebber, already?
Surely that goes without saying.
We're very keen to see him found as well. The trouble is, we don't have much to go on aside from the description of the man we heard in court earlier.
Which, according to Professor Hairbrain, was of a tall, thin gentleman who has straight white hair and wears a black monocle.
So, I was just wondering... I mean, I realize it's probably not possible, but...
We'd very much appreciate any more clues you can give us.
Wow, Susato-san really knows how to take the bull by the horns.
Fine. Why not?
Maybe he'll kill you and it will solve all my problems.
I have a photograph of the man here from an investigation 10 years ago.
Whoa, this guy's haunted looking.
This guy's a little gaunt, huh?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. There's that plus symbol, though.
Yeah, I'm guessing the other one has a minus.
Probably. Though it appears he already had that black monocle at the time. Maybe it's a sunglass monocle.
Perhaps. Oh, no, nothing. I was just surprised that you shared that with us.
Why? We all need the man's testimony in court tomorrow. Which means we have to do everything we possibly can to track him down in a short time available. So why wouldn't I show you this photograph? Every time I do, it makes me laugh.
What is it about Lord Van Zeeks? Sometimes I just can't work him out at all.
I'm a tricky bastard.
It's part of my mystique. Alright, well, let's just fucking go for it then, man. So, Clint.
Wow!
Was the name of your older brother, I understand, Lord Van Zeeks.
What you don't know is between those big noises, he grabbed Ryunosuke by the throat and dangled him off the edge of this like little platform. You Nepalese. I always have to be on guard to never go around. So, you've been investigating me, have you?
Oh, no, it's not like that. Well, alright, it is a bit like that.
My older brother was also a prosecutor. He was the pride of the Van Zeeks family. But tragically, a vicious killer took him from us.
The professor, you mean? I don't like that. Is something funny?
That you think I'm not going to kill you immediately. That's the extent of what you've discovered, is it? I shouldn't be surprised. You are dumb.
Sorry, there's more to it then?
Lacklustre work is much of your trademark, isn't it?
Ugh, you're too kind. Are you going to tar all Nipponese with the same brush next?
Yes. So tell me, what's your interest in that historic incident? As it happens, Lord Van Zeeks, there's a rather curious case that's come to our attention. Are you aware of the Madame Two Spells?
You forgot, didn't you?
Yeah, I had. Alright. Museum of Waxwork, by any chance? I am, naturally. I believe that since last month I featured in one of the displays there, for public scorn.
Of course, the infamous Reaper of the Bailey.
Infinite?
The Infinite Reaper. The infamous
Infinite Reaper of the Bailey sounds like a fucking cool-ass name for something.
That's like an
attack or
yeah,
something?
Exactly.
Yeah! And now, my ultimate technique! Infinite Reaper of the old Bailey!
Would have to be exhibited, wouldn't he?
What are you eyeing, Mulligan? Well, a particular waxwork has been stolen from the place and held for ransom. A particular waxwork? Which, wait, you mean?
Yes, it's the professor. Mr. Sholmes is investigating the case as we speak. I fucking hate that guy.
That guy really fiddles my diddles. I was unaware of that.
He's turned as white as a sheet. Even whiter than he already was.
And this is a white man.
Wow!
Hey, man. Hey, guy that I'm 90% sure is Kazuma. Ah, the file I requested for the trial tomorrow. Thank you.
Oh, shit.
Yep. Susato's gonna
definitely knows
instantly figure it
instantly.
out. Oh, yeah.
You alright?
Who is this man, Mr. Naruhodo? And why does he have all the same dimensions as Kazuma-sama?
Lord Van Zeek's apprentice, apparently. Though I'm not the only one. Susato-san can see it too.
Yeah, it's weird that they're just parading him out when these two people are like, that's definitely just Kazuma, huh? Lord Van Zeeks, may we speak with your apprentice for a moment?
No!
With him? Why? No, shut up. He doesn't know anything. Goodbye, apprentice.
Whoosh. Oh shit, she just said it.
Kazuma-sama. Yeah, good for her, frankly.
Ryunosuke would never.
Ryunosuke would have been like, oh, I don't know. Oh, this is me then! Right! I forgot! Kazu. Huh?
I don't believe it.
Your posture, your presence. It can only be... It's you, isn't it, Kazuma-sama? I mean, like... Susato was obsessed with this guy. She's,
Yeah.
like, definitely gonna know immediately.
I felt something strange the very first time I encountered this cloaked figure. As if I knew him somehow. Can it really be you, Kazuma?
It might be. His body disappeared.
Wait!
Fade him back in again.
late.
Ah, damn. What's going on here?
Oh, we're actually gonna tell him.
What is your interest in my apprentice exactly? You act as if you know the man or something.
Well,
Since when has he been in your care? Was it about a year ago when he died? I don't recall you having an apprentice before I left Britain 6 months ago. Lord Strongheart introduced me to him about 3 months ago now, with instructions to mentor him as a prosecutor.
but he didn't tell you why, did he?
No. The man appears to be suffering from amnesia. Ah, there it is.
Yeah.
He's forgotten every last detail about himself. He has amnesia? Tomorrow he will appear in court at my side.
Oh shit. What?
He's to serve as my judicial assistant, on Lord Strongheart's orders.
He'll be in court with us?
If only we could have shown him our badge. That would have got him. Now then, unless I'm mistaken, I believe this conversation has run its course.
Oh, yes, thank you. I definitely saw a reaction there.
Thank God.
Once
I was
Susato-san
so
called
mad
out
when they're
that,
like,
it's really seemed to hit a nerve.
this guy tripped and or got pushed lightly and instantly died. I was wondering why they did that to him. It's because they didn't. They were setting up this the whole time.
When she called out Kazuma-sama.
You okay, champ? You'd already met that masked man, hadn't you, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes, yesterday, in fact, at Lord Van Zeek's office.
I see. And if Kazuma-sama really is still alive... I don't know what you're talking about, Josh.
Could be anybody.
Squint. It means that Mr. Sholmes lied to us.
I know. We're going to need to speak to him about that.
Sorry, I'm cracked up on cocaine again.
You're back!
You're going to have to leave now.
I thought you were
Boy,
leaving.
vampire. The forensics investigation team, or FIT, are due to arrive shortly. If they find you here, it will cause problems.
What sort of problems?
Foreign affairs problems.
And we could do without that. Alright, we'll be on our way. Let's go, Mr. Zato.
Of course.
Hey, Gina.
Hey, Jenny.
I've got a cool thing. About this, Gina. Yeah, I'm still enemy letters at the moment.
I told you she was illiterate.
I only knew A to E, so if it ain't too much bleeding trouble.
She only knows 5 letters? That's not very many,
That's
Gina.
not a lot of letters.
I think babies could learn letters faster than that, Gina.
You need at least 2 more for music.
Actually, Gina, it's the back of the card that's important.
Hey, how come? It's just a dirty old smudge on the back, that's all.
She's not going to be a good detective, huh?
Yeah. It turns out this...
It turns out...
I did it again.
I'm watching you.
I did it again.
It turns out that this is very high-quality French machine oil. It has a very particular scent, apparently.
You don't say. Let's have a whiff then. You sure? I don't smell nothing. No, we didn't mean that you should smell it. Oh, right. You mean Toby? Oh, right, my dog. My dog was sniffing. Woof. His sense of smell is so good he can track people over the oceans, can't he?
Well, that was...
I think
Professor
that was an
Harebrant
exaggeration.
informs us that this oil is unique to Mr. Drever's workshop. Oh, yeah. Get in there. Sniff, sniff, sniff.
I think he's picked up a scent. So, I mean, if he follows the scent of this oil, Toby could lead us to that dodgy cove's workshop.
That's right. That's exactly what we were hoping.
Alright then, we'll give it a go. I'll just borrow that. What? Wait, when did you... Once a pickpocket. Not gonna lead everyone to that Dreber's workshop. I'll be the boss's boss before next week.
Oh yes, Gina. I'm sure you'll be promoted.
Poor Gregson.
I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna drown myself in the English Channel, I am.
Right then, Aldo, leave it to me. Sorry? We're gonna get going after that dodgy engineer cove right this moment. Oh, but hang on. Someone's supposed to be on guard duty here all the time. I'm afraid we can't help. We need to get on with our investigation as well, Gina. Oh, right. Oh well, never mind. It ain't gonna be me what gets it in the neck. It'll be the boss. Poor Gregson again. I mean, there's 2 cops back there. They're fine.
They don't count.
Ready, Toby? Got that oil scent, have you? Come on in, boy. See you later. You know, I thought we would be following her.
I thought we were going to do that too, but apparently we're too busy not following
doing
her?
that. Well, we gotta go talk. We gotta go interrogate Sholmes.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's not going to be helpful. The boy's going to be fucking strung out on something. And he's going to mumble something about, I don't know, like prunes, maybe? I do hope the scent of that oil leads them to that swindler's workshop.
Yes, I hope so too. Ideally before the dog swims across the channel to France.
I'd rather drowning myself.
Alright,
We also go to Madame Two Spells.
yep, that's the next place. That's where Sholmes
Two
probably
spells.
is. 23rd October, Madame Two Spells.
I buy a hot dog hot dog cart if I'm trying to be frank. Oh, she hasn't been here, that's right. Oh my, no wonder it's called the House of Horrors. I'd like to turn on my heels and go straight home, via the confectionery.
Being scared makes you crave sweets. I can understand that.
I want to go home and I want candy. Relatable. I was looking forward to a reunion after 6 months away, but all you've done is take me to bad places. There's no sign of Mr. Sholmes anywhere.
That's strange. He should be here investigating the abduction of the waxwork.
Or pretending to be a waxwork.
We'll suppose we'll just have to come back later. Oh, I guess he's not.
Are we sure we
I will
can't
look
turn our
around
head
the
to the
room
right?
really quick. No, that's...
Nope, he's not there anymore.
Guy.
You could still examine them, though. They're blinky again. I assume to get Susato's... Oh, what a horrifying scene. A murderer caught in the grisly act.
I know, and in case you were wondering, it's the one with the big knife that's supposed to be the killer.
Why would I don't think anybody would be in doubt about that, surely.
And did you know that according to the description, the bathtub at the back has no particular significance?
What? Really? I would have thought it was meant to show that the killer also worked in a bathhouse, peddling criminal wares.
Aha! We have a new theory. Good job, Naruto.
You also click on that curtain.
Yeah.
This one's posture reveals his weakness.
Sorry?
The killer's stance leaves him wide open to attack. I'm quite sure I could see him off. With a Susato takedown, and then a Susato squash, and finally a Susato smash!
Right.
Yeah, that doesn't make the culprit unconscious. Oh, she's not trying to kill him, thank God. A Susato slam. Oh, nope, that would kill him.
Susato slam?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's rather hard to explain.
Don't.
Leave yourself open slightly and I'll demonstrate.
Absolutely not.
Whether you're getting thrown around by a 16-year-old girl.
Relevant.
It's not. Well, you could click on something there, couldn't you? Or is that just the screen move? Oh, it was just the screen. Never mind.
I think it's just
no,
the
it was
scene.
right. It's the ladder.
It's the ladder!
Oh, it's the ladder! Ah, there's a step ladder there. Look.
Oh, yes, a step ladder.
I think perhaps we should let the proprietress know that someone's left it out. The step ladder, I mean. Is something wrong?
Why do I feel as though I just managed to sidestep an argument?
Yeah, I was gonna say. They're these fucking guys. There wasn't anything on the right of that screen, was there?
Over here?
Yeah, I
No.
don't think so. As soon as they said ladder, I was like, are they gonna actually do it, or are they gonna like pretend to do it? Because this one has shovel spade.
That old policeman isn't here now, obviously. I still can't believe he just happened to be on the jury, though.
I'd understood that London has a population of 6 million people, and yet you do seem to run into the same people disproportionately often, don't you?
Very strange. Yes, the heavy curtains in the middle of the House of Horrors. Whatever's on the other side of them, you just know it's going to be terrifying, don't you?
The sign says it's the Madame Two-Spell's special exhibit. It seems you have to pay extra to go inside.
I know! Can you believe that? Pay more money as if we haven't been scared enough already.
It's not my doing, Mr. Naruto.
Alright, let's go.
Well, that was fun.
Let's go to the forensics lab or whatever.
Did you say Rab?
Remember crab. Wow.
Remember.
Holy shit.
I like that owl.
There's just a skull in a jar up there. 23rd October,
in the
Forensics
jar.
Laboratory.
They must have made the jar around the skull somehow. They must have like sealed it, or there's no bottom. You know what? There's probably no bottom. It's probably a dome.
There's a
It must
spine in a
be, right?
different jar in the upper left.
Oh yeah, look at that.
I believe this is it. Dr. C's laboratory. That chemical
C's?
smell. Seeths. Oh, were we saying
Is it
scythe?
seeds?
I don't know.
I don't know which one. Do you
Me neither.
know which one it's supposed to be?
No.
I've been saying scythe because
I'll say
like
scythe.
Grim Reaper.
That
Okay.
chemical smell really assaults the nose, and there's plenty to assault the eyes in here, too.
It looks as though the doctor isn't here. But we're here now, so we may as well do some sightseeing, don't you think?
What a seasoned tourist you've become, Miss Sato. You could just have a little look around, being careful not to upset any restless souls. The lack of music in here is really something. Well, that's not important. I thought it would be, but it's not.
Nope.
Oh, look at this. What a magnificent display case. The cherry wood has been polished to a high sheen, and the intricate carving is a joy to behold. Western cabinet makers really are very skilled, aren't they?
Do you have nothing to say about the skeleton inside, Mr. Naruhodo?
Mr. Sato, can't you tell that I'm trying very hard to avoid talking about the terrifying contents of the case? It's how I cope.
Cope. Steve. I'll be sure to remember that from now on.
I didn't think this was close to the skeleton, but I guess it was.
Yeah, I thought you were clicking those files.
Bird.
That looks like an owl and a crow up there.
I know, and they haven't even twitched since we came in here.
Well, they're taxidermied. Well, no, they wouldn't have. They're taxidermy mounts, Mr. Naruhodo.
Ugh, I was afraid you were going to say that. I've been trying very hard to tell myself they're just sleeping with their eyes open.
Yes, I think perhaps you were wise to put something like your Daruma doll on display in the office instead. I suppose this is Dr. Scythe's desk.
Ugh, I would not like to work in a place like this.
It's very tidy though, isn't it, Mr. Naruhodo? Imagine how efficiently she must work.
The lighting is poor, which is bad for the eyes, and the chemical smell can't be good for you. Not to mention the skeleton watching over you as you work, which is definitely bad for the nerves.
Well, yes, those are valid concerns, I suppose.
I can just about cope with a one-eyed Daruma doll watching over me, but that's all. Look at this big, thick book here.
Ah, it appears to be an accounting ledger. It's a record of the forensic investigation team's spending, I think. Oh, financial fraud? Immediately? It's clear that the team purchases various equipment and supplies on a monthly basis, but... well, one entry seems to be rather strange.
Really? In what way?
Glancing at a ledger for 5 seconds and being like, ah, fraud. They're buying 500 scalpels every month.
500? They must be working really hard on dissecting corpses.
I don't know. Judicial autopsies are only carried out in certain special circumstances. And scalpel blades can be sharpened, too.
It does seem a bit strange, you're right.
If
500
it's
scalpels a
embezzling.
month. What could they possibly be using them all for?
Either they're building up a big collection of knives, or they're... There she is.
What are you
I thought
doing?
the book might...
Ah,
I thought the book might get her here.
yeah. Maybe she uses scalpels as part of her animation.
You like her snake hand things?
Yeah,
What do you think those are? Bracelets?
I guess so. Sorry, we had something we wanted to ask you, but you weren't here, so... So you thought you'd snoop around? That's acceptable to you people from the East, is it? Well, what do you want? Lord Strongheart told us, you see, that it was you who examined the victim's body. Or Mr.
I knew
Assman's
Mola
body.
guy was gonna
I mean,
use that. I was waiting for it. I was like, do I prompt him? I was like, I don't have to though. He'll
I'll do
chime in when he's good and ready. I knew it, Mola guy. I was just waiting. I was like, that Mola guy, I can read him like a cheap paper magazine. What am I trying to say? A penny comic?
Sure.
I don't know. I've lost my
Something.
listen. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. So we came to ask you about your findings on Lord Strongheart's advice.
Very well. I had a yawn, sorry. If the Lord Chief Justice has given his consent, I'll tell you what our investigation revealed. But when we're done, you must leave immediately.
Well, we didn't we have to examine. No, don't talk to her. Don't talk to her. We have to examine the box on the left.
A box?
And that cabinet.
This box?
Yeah, we didn't do it yet.
A table and a set of sharp tools. When you consider each in isolation, it looks all quite innocent. So why is it that when you put them side by side, they seem so horribly disturbing?
It might be best not to ponder too deeply. Seeing the large tome that's open on the desk does make me wonder, though. How can anybody concentrate on bookwork with this acrid odor of chemicals in the air?
You'd either have to have a cast iron constitution or a really terrible sense of smell.
And then that cabinet. Oh, and the jars.
What's up there? Those large jars seem to have pale things floating around inside them. I suppose they're fruit liquors or something. Or like the
No.
pickled umeboshi plums we have back home.
They aren't. Father had jars like that in his laboratory as well. I expect they're human organs in a preserving solution, probably as examples of some rare medical condition.
Miss Susato, there are some things in the world that it's perfectly fine never to know about. Ever.
Oh.
So as I said, I'm sure they're fruit liquors or umeboshi, aren't they?
Of course. Bro has lost his mind.
Look at all the bottles on the shelves in those cabinets. What an assortment of chemicals.
The ones here are labeled highly toxic.
Ugh, that's worrying. Because there are also things that look like salt and pepper shakers in there.
Oh yes, they actually say salt and pepper on them. The doctor probably spends a lot of time in this room, I suppose. Perhaps she has meals here sometimes.
Life goes on, even when you're surrounded by death. Anything else?
I think that was everything.
Oh, thought I saw something. Nope, guess not.
No, I don't think so. I think you're good.
Oh wait, first things first. How do you feel about
Oh
my
yes. How do you feel about this armband?
armband? Dr. Scythe, would you be good enough to look at this? Oh, you
Whoa.
think I'm good enough, do you?
All right, Mola guy, I
no,
see it now.
no.
Hold on.
I didn't mean.
Hold on, Mola guy. I think you were cooking something here.
Was it the pose? So I'm
That
not.
pose
good
was
enough.
very good.
In that case, why would you show me anything?
This pose is also quite good.
Clearly, you're too
Hold
good for
on.
me to show you anything again, ever.
I mean, her hair is dumb, but I'm willing to look past that. Gentleman that I am.
Your findings.
It looks kind of like a Bayonetta haircut.
Yeah, kind
Like
of.
it was shorter though. Like a short Bayonetta.
So, you want to know what the forensic investigation team determined from its examination at the scene? The
Oh,
victim, Mr. Odie Assman, who disappeared from the experimentation stage amid an explosion.
when will I not laugh at Ass Man?
And the
knows?
Mr. Assman, who appeared moments later partly up the Crystal Tower. Were without question one and the same person. That's the team's conclusion.
Right.
But that can't be right. If it were an elaborate trick, we can only speculate about how it was carried out.
They shot him of a big cannon just off stage. Let's see. If two people who looked very similar to each other were involved, they could have made it appear as if one single person had switched places, couldn't they?
Very true, but sadly in this instance, that was not the case. The man who disappeared and the man who subsequently reappeared was the same person. The fingerprints at the scene make that quite evident. Ah, fingerprints. They're like the rifle markings.
They're
on my
like
hand.
They're like the ballistics way. I don't know what that means, Mola guy. But I am.
They're not
Probably.
yet officially recognized as forensic evidence. Let me try that word again. Evidence in the British justice system. But one day, they will be used as an investigative aid as a matter of course.
Oh my. But that would mean that the instantaneous kinesis actually took place. No, it didn't. So where does that leave us?
My
And
team
also,
was-
I'm not Molo guy. Hold on, I need to defend myself to Molo guy. You can change a haircut. You couldn't change your elbows being too pointy. At least not easily. So there.
My team was tasked with investigating, not drawing conclusions, which is apparently separate
lean
from
back.
investigating.
Well, I mean, that's kind of how forensics works, right?
I guess.
You can draw some, I mean, there's like types of conclusions you can draw, but like, you would be the one to be more like, this blood is this guy's, not like, that means this and this, you know?
That's fair. You've got me there.
Huh.
Instantaneous kinesis is impossible, and yet the body did move from one place to the other.
Big tunnel.
This hasn't cleared anything up at all. It's made the whole thing even more of a mystery. Ah!
Oh, fuck yeah!
Who in the shit?
Apparently it's her daughter.
Mom, what
Well, I
is
guess
this? Oh, that's Italian. You can take it. I didn't have a good one.
Wait, what? This is Italian? How do you know that?
I just started and I'm like I went to Mama and immediately went Italian.
Oh, I see. That's what you mean. Excellent. Then I will also do a Russian accent. Mama, what is the? Wait, hold on. How do I do Russian again?
Ah!
How do you do? Hold on. I've been doing too much vampire. How do you? What's
I
a
can
Russian
only do
thing?
Transylvanian.
Boy,
Good
it's like
evening.
da comrade, da comrade.
Boris
Boris
from Metal Gear.
Stroganoff. My Boris Metal Gear. Mama, what is this?
Kept you waiting, huh?
Kept
Where did
you
she
waiting.
spring from? And did she just call the
This
doctor
design
Mama?
goes hard.
It's pretty good.
This rules. Your daughter's got a cool fit.
This is a lawyer, dear.
Oh.
Hello. To meet you. Pleased to meet you. Yes, I'm a defense lawyer, Ryunosuke Naruto.
Mama.
Yes.
She's freaky, huh?
Huh?
She's a bit of a weirdo, huh?
Well, but
She's a bit of a freak. Damn. Also, is her hairline like the
yeah,
top
I
of
don't
her
know.
head?
The
Have
thing
I,
is
have
a
I
little.
seen this right?
Maybe the mask extends a little. It's very strange from this angle.
Yeah, I don't. she just all forehead.
Got a fucking 12 head up there.
Because, man, wow.
Yeah, it's super not clear from this.
I'm so distracted by this. I don't even. Hold on. How does Colossus talk? You're not the bad guy. Okay, that's kind of close. Can I cut this one up?
What? Ah!
Why is she clanging them together like that? I get that she's supposed to be doing the sharpening thing, but you don't do that with a butcher's cleaver in that manner. This is
No.
nonsense. I've never seen inside an Eastern person before. I want to know what it's like, what it looks like.
Of course you can't. It's a live specimen, as you can very well see.
Boring.
I think I just had a near-death experience.
Oh dear. Mr. Naruto, you're as pale as a corpse.
Now let's leave
Corpse,
before I'm
you say?
mistaken for one. Well, I think we've done all the investigating we can here for now. If we could just determine the whereabouts of Mr. Drebber.
I'm sure Gina and little Toby won't let us down. Now then, do you think we ought to try to speak with Mr. Sholmes at this point? We have things to discuss, and I'm dying to meet him again after all these months. And then
Yes, it's
kick
quite
his ass.
possible he might know something useful, you're right. We gotta find him at Madame Two Spells. He's supposed to be working there as a temporary waxwork exhibit.
Yes, Iris told me all about his latest unusual venture.
Okay, bye. I don't want to be in
Sometimes
this...
I
I don't wanna
stand
be
in
here
the
anymore.
middle of my workshop, posing.
23rd October, Madame Two Spells Waxworks.
Here we are again at the House of Horrors. I'm
Me
afraid
every
I
time I
haven't
come
got used
home.
to the place. Whoa! Fuck you! Hold on! I'm gonna hit you with a chair. I'm gonna kill you with hammers. I'm afraid I haven't gotten used to the place yet. I'd still like to turn on my heels and go straight home. Via the confectionery, of course.
Zato-san really is after something sweet today, isn't she?
Take her to the confectionery. Eek!
What's the matter?
Look, Mr. Naruto. Look at that waxwork. It's definitely Shomes. I'm quite sure it wasn't there before.
I love
Yep.
how he's just kind of posing there like, aha!
His pose is so bad. Do you know how hard that'd be to sustain, too? What an idiot.
Why would you choose one with your arm above, like, your head? What are you doing?
Yeah. Or
Remember
out in any capacity.
Remember that one time I held up my hand for a high five for like 4 hours?
Oh, yeah.
I was just
That
reminded
was at a
of that.
LAN party, right?
Yeah, I think so. Nobody would
Or what?
I think it was a D&D session or something, and just no one would high five me. So I just left my arm up for literal hours.
What a commitment. Pretty sure that was a different one than the one where you just like slammed a case of Mountain Dew, right?
Yeah, no, that was at the Z's place. That was a different thing.
That was a different thing.
Just drank an entire
looks
12-pack of Game Fuel like a fucking insane person.
It looks exactly like Mr. Shomes down to the very last detail.
Probably a reason why I don't drink caffeine anymore. Aha!
What is it?
Oh, sorry, I think you'll find that's the temporary waxwork himself. Oh, hello.
All right, French. La baguette. Ah, the friend of my dedicated employee.
Oh, yes, hello again. It's Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
I must say, I'm quite spellbound by the great detective. He is a marvel. What is a soup du jour? Nope. I need a French phrase that can get my
Hors
mind
d'oeuvre.
into French.
Hors d'oeuvre.
Hors d'oeuvres.
Hors d'oeuvre.
Hey, mademoiselle! Oh, there it is. My precious waxwork is already back where it belongs.
You don't mean...
But yes, the mystery is solved already.
Wow, Mr. Sholmes can really engage his brain when he's hungry enough.
So as you can see, he has returned to his habitual duties.
Yes.
His habitual duties? Hello? Do not disturb, huh? That's also a good pose. Well, are you sure we can't look past the fact that she's French? I'm willing to.
No, I can. Poor Suzato-san, she looks very perplexed. What a confusing situation she's wandered into. So she's probably not going to let us talk to him, huh?
We really do need to speak with Mr. Sholmes, and I'm longing to say hello again. But where is he? Stop. I know that you're not... Okay.
Ryunosuke, I think you might find that he's quite nearby, actually.
Oh. What do you...
Indeed, my dear fellows, it is I.
Mom.
The
Really?
world-famous great detective and waxwork, Herlock Sholmes.
I can't believe that, Molokai. Now your elbow's too pointy in her. How about that? How about that
She
for a
can't
turn
stop
of phrase?
being French.
She can't stop being French. He got thrown.
Suzato-san! Doom, doom, do, 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 do.
Yeah. He's dead now. He got
My most
Susato
humble
slammed.
apologies.
I thought I'd died and gone to eternal paradise for a moment. Via London.
No one's ever done that. My dear madam, allow me to make amends by offering you a tasty free deduction at some point. As long as it's not of questionable street food quality.
I don't understand. Why are you working as a waxwork here, Mr. Sholmes?
Merely
I
a
know
secret
it was
identity,
probably-
you understand? She could just
I
make
know it's-
one, right? Like, it's absurd that she has to have him do this.
I think
know
she
it's
just likes
for
it.
him, but like...
I know that was probably supposed to be Susato fainting, but I like to pretend that she immediately
just
fucking
flipped him instantly.
flipped him right on his ass. Have you seen how they say, okay, I have Molo Guy, but again, that's your breaking point? Come on. Come on.
Well, the case is largely solved now.
Largely solved.
Nope. We're talking about waxwork abduction, I presume. Indeed we are, my good fellow. As I predicted, it was as easy as proverbial pie. Though I confess I'm yet to partake of a pie, proverbial or otherwise. Or any food so far today, for that matter. Ooh, that was a real one. That stomach rumble echoed around the whole museum. So, how did you manage to solve it so quickly? Ah, well, do remember I said it was largely solved. Anyway, I simply negotiated with the culprit. Are you familiar with the so-called telephone?
He just called the... Okay. Oh, yes. It's a most modern invention, allowing you to hold a conversation with people far away. Alexander Graham Bell stole it from someone. In Japan, only... I mean, it's more complicated than that, but in Japan, only the imperial capital and a handful of other cities are connected as yet.
This morning, a telephone call was received here from the perpetrator of the abduction. As such, I was able to negotiate terms, and in the end, the waxwork was returned. That's amazing. Just between you and I, it would appear the culprit had always intended to return the stolen waxwork in any event.
Oh, but I thought whoever was responsible had demanded a ransom, no?
Yes, I think perhaps. The ransom demand was necessary to avoid unwanted suspicion regarding the true motive.
But does that not mean your negotiation was entirely unnecessary?
The fact that I must ask you to keep from Madame Two-Spells at all costs.
Don't tell her I was useless.
A young Hyrie Iris... let me try that all again.
Hyrie?
I just... Some words meant that it was bad. A hungry young Iris awaits my return to Baker Street, after all. Poor Iris. Now then, do I sense that you have some business with this great waxwork? I do, but it'll have to wait until next time.
On Dragon Ball Z.
Alright, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good night, and Josh will be streaming ZZZ tomorrow.
Zenless Zone Zero tomorrow.
For the telephone, it'll never take off. No one would ever use a cellular phone.
We're
Bye.
gonna pull on the gotchas.